So we've got tab number 1. It's going to first have you turn off spacing. It's going to have you change your font to Arial, and it's going to have you change it to size 12. The line spacing thing, just Arial regular. All right. Arial and then size 12. What it wants you to do, though, is go ahead and put in your name and your date and the period and the assignment name, which is tab 1. All right. And enter 1, 2, 3 times. Put in title, but then that should be centered and all that other good stuff. Now, once you have your heading and your title set up correctly, your cursor is right here. So this is your first tip with tabs, is you got to remember that your cursor, the little blinking line, needs to be at the right position before you set tabs. If you look at the worksheet, it actually tells you have 2 different methods to set tabs. One is called the ruler method, and one is called the dialog box method. The ruler method, obviously you need to make the rulers appear. If you don't have them appearing, right up here in the top right corner, there's a view ruler icon that you can click on. Now you have your ruler. And what that also gives you is the tab selector box. As you click through these different tabs, you'll see that it gives you all these different kind of symbols. You're only concerned with the first 4. This one here that looks like an L is a left tab. That one is a center tab, looks like an upside down T. This one looks like a backwards L, that's the right tab. And then the 4th one is a decimal tab. It looks like a center tab, but it has a little decimal in there. And those have to do with how it lines up things. And we'll learn that later on, what that means, although you did learn it last year. So the directions tell me to set a right tab. All right, so I'm going to select it until I'm at right tab. And it tells it to be at 3/4 inch. So to use this method, you have to know how to use a ruler. If you don't know where 3/4 inch is on a ruler, you're not going to be able to find it. Then I want you to set a center tab at 3 1/4 inches. So right there is 3 1/4. And another center tab at 5 3/4 or 5.75. So I've got my 3 tabs there. I'm going to actually turn on my show hides. It makes it a lot easier to work with tabs. And I'm going to press tab, type in the word check, and then service performed, and then price. All right, and I've got these 3 in there, and I'm going to go ahead and press enter 2 times like it tells me to. And these are actually supposed to be bold and underlined, and it's actually kind of easier to do it after the fact to just go back and highlight them. All right, so that, if I look at my worksheet, was these 3 tabs. And then I typed in all this information here. Basically, that's just what I just showed you. The next thing it tells you to do is remove your tabs and set these 3 new tabs. So I'm going to go ahead, and it also tells me to change my line spacing to 1.5. To remove my tabs, I'm going to click up here, drag them off the ruler, and now I can set 3 new tabs. This new set of tabs, though, has something called solid line leaders and dotted line leaders. So I have to use the other method of setting tabs for this one. The ruler is good if it's just a plain tab, but to set the tabs using the dialog box method, what you do is you click on the paragraph dialog box launcher right there. Gives you this. Down in the bottom left-hand corner, there's a command button that says tabs. And now you have this that should look kind of familiar from last year, where you can actually type in the tabs and then set all of its settings. So my first tab for this is 0.75. It is a left tab, which it's already set up for, and a solid line leader, number 4. I'm going to hit set, adds it to the list. Then I'm going to go through and go ahead and add all my other ones. This one's a left 1 inch with no leader. And then I have another one at 5.75, but it is a decimal tab, and it has a number 2 leader. Hit set. All right, now I've got these 3 tabs. Nothing is appearing here on my ruler yet, but as soon as I hit OK, those tabs are now put into place. And this is where I can press tab. The first time, it adds that line. The second time, it jumps out, and I can type in whatever it is. Press tab again. It adds my dotted line, and then my price of this one, it happens to be $350. Press enter, and then continue to do that throughout the entire process.